Today, I'm talking about being financially invisible. I like to call it ninja mode wealth. And no, I'm not talking about hiding your money in the backyard or under the mattress. No, I mean making one radical Gen X decision. Stop making your success so easy to see and so easy to spend. Because for most of our lives, we've watched the same model play out. If you're doing well, then people should be able to tell. The nicer house, the newer car, the expensive vacations, the keeping up with the Joneses. But what if the smartest move that Gen X can make financially right now is to stop looking successful and become financially invisible? That's stealth wealth. And I think it may be one of the fastest paths to retiring sooner. So today I'm going to show you how ninja mode wealth actually works. And no, this isn't a copy of the book, The Millionaire Next Door, although it does have a lot in common with it. The point is that retiring sooner doesn't always mean building a bigger pile. Sometimes it's about needing less pile. This is for regular Gen Xers who are still working, who are tired, still paying the bills, and wondering if there's any way to retire sooner without winning the lottery. Because stealth wealth is about hiding your progress from the part of the world that wants to spend it for you. And man, do they want you to spend it. This is about building assets behind the scenes. And yeah, you've still got time. This is about lowering your cost of living. This is about refusing to turn every raise, every bonus, or every side hustle dollar into something visible. And here are 5 practical ways to start doing that. Number 1 is prioritize invisible assets. Because that's the first move in ninja mode wealth. So stop spending all your money on things that people can see. Because visible success is expensive. And it's getting more expensive by the day. The nicer car, the designer labels, the upgraded furniture, the vacation, the new phone, and the house with the great curb appeal. Now, those things may feel good for a little while, but they present a few problems. One, they announce your money to the world. A lot of them depreciate as soon as you buy them, and most of them don't work for you. They don't produce income. They don't compound. They don't lower your future expenses, and they don't help you leave work sooner. Now, stealth wealth does the opposite. It sends money into places that nobody notices. Your 401k, your IRA, your brokerage account, a savings account, home equity. Those are boring from the outside. Nobody sees them. Nobody compliments them. Nobody's jealous of it. Nobody pulls you aside and says, wow, your retirement contribution is aging beautifully. But those invisible assets are what can eventually buy your freedom. Don't let the nicest thing that you own be sitting in the driveway. Let it be in your nest egg, in your retirement account, even your home equity. And that's the shift. Because instead of asking, what can I buy to prove I'm doing well? You start asking, what can I build that will give me options? Number 2 is avoid lifestyle inflation and bad debt. Regular inflation is hard to hide from today. It has infiltrated almost every category. But there is one type of inflation that you can tell to go take a hike. And that's lifestyle inflation or lifestyle creep. And it's what happens when every increase in income gets absorbed by a nicer version of your life. You get a raise and your car gets upgraded. Your phone gets newer. You eat out more. You get lazy with your budgeting and spending. So yeah, you're earning more money, but you're not getting freer. You're just funding a more expensive cage. And this is also where bad debt sneaks in. Because once your lifestyle rises faster than your income, and it happens so easily, credit cards and car loans, well, they begin to fill the gap. And that is how a raise or a bonus disappears before it ever has a chance to buy you freedom. And Ninja Mode Wealth says to keep your baseline life steadier than your income. Let your income rise, but let your life be steady. Now, that doesn't mean that you never enjoy anything. It just means that every raise, every side hustle dollar, every paid off debt payment does not automatically become a lifestyle upgrade. Some of it needs to go into stealth mode for your future. Blending in means nobody notices your 6-year-old TV, your 10-year-old washer, your reliable car. And here's the funny part. Most people aren't paying attention anyway. We think that everybody notices our older stuff. And they're really just too busy worrying about their own stuff. So as you can see, sometimes the most powerful financial upgrade is not some dramatic sacrifice. It's just refusing to upgrade things that are still doing their job. Number 3 is drive the average car, because cars are one of the biggest financial leaks, especially for Americans. Because cars are one of the easiest places to confuse transportation with identity. And when you constantly have a car payment that never really ends, there's one thing that almost always takes the hit: your retirement accounts. A reliable mid-range car that's a few years old may not impress anybody. And that is exactly the point. It blends in, it's functional. It gives you freedom of movement. And if it does all of that without a giant payment and constant depreciation eating your money alive, well, that car is doing something very important. It's not just transporting you, it's helping you to protect your future. The average new car price today is $50,000. And sometimes you may need, or you just want, a new car. And even in today's times, there are still brand new, average, reliable cars that start around half that price. The Toyota Corolla, the Honda Civic, the Hyundai Elantra. Brand new, totally respectable, and nowhere near that average price of $50,000. Now that's Ninja Mode Wealth in a sedan. But the problem is that most people want an SUV. But an SUV is not Ninja Mode Wealth building at all. They cost more to insure, to repair, and maintain. They have much lower MPG and a higher purchase price. And these differences in maintenance and insurance costs, they might seem minor on a month-to-month basis, but capturing these savings, you move from simply managing costs to building wealth. And that's Ninja Mode Wealth, by the way. Number 4 is practice social discretion. And I don't think this one is talked about enough. Stealth wealth is not only about what you buy or don't buy, it's also about what you broadcast. Because once people know too much about your money or your income, your investments, your inheritance, even your bonus, expectations can start forming around it. If everyone around you thinks you're doing great, then suddenly your money starts feeling available to other people before you've even decided what it's for. Now, it doesn't mean that you become secretive in a weird kind of way, and it doesn't mean that you lie. It doesn't mean that you keep important information from the people close to you in your life that need to know it. But it does mean that you stop casually handing out financial information to people that don't need it. You don't have to discuss specific numbers. You don't have to announce your investment wins. You don't have to prove how well you're doing, because everyone doesn't need insider information about your finances. Because the more visible your money becomes, whether it's in stuff or just talking about it, the more pressure that can attach itself to it. And blending in removes a lot of that pressure. And for Gen X, that matters, because many of us are already carrying enough pressure. Okay, number 5 is camouflage your lifestyle. Now, you've heard the travel advice, leave the good jewelry at home. Well, we can apply that same idea to ninja mode wealth. Blend in. Don't stand out. Be intentionally ordinary. Well, outside of a great Gen X band t-shirt. But I digress. Because there's a lot of power in looking normal. But I want to be clear. That doesn't mean that you never spend any money on the things that you love. If you truly value something and it fits your life and your budget, then spend there on purpose. If it's golf or the spa or travel or Gen X band t-shirts, and that's what you truly value, then enjoy that. But not because your friends or your coworkers or your boss or social media does it. Because if we practice stealth wealth and we never spend anything on the things that we truly love, well, then we've not become free. We've just drifted into obsessive wealth accumulation. And that's not healthy, because then you'll get to retirement and you'll still not want to spend it. So camouflage the categories that don't matter, the places where ordinary is just fine, gets the job done, where good enough is fine. And then enjoy the categories that bring you actual contentment and real joy. And meanwhile, behind the scenes, you're building the part that nobody sees. The retirement account, the savings, the paid off debt, the bridge fund, the lower monthly bills, the future options. That is ninja mode wealth. You let your outside life look regular while your inside life gets stronger. And if you want a practical rule, here it is. Keep your visible life 1 or 2 levels below what you can technically afford. Because if ninja mode wealth starts working, and it will, well, then you may find yourself in a position to begin affording those nicer things. But don't blow your cover now. I mean, if you can afford the luxury car, no, buy the average reliable one instead. If you can afford the bigger house, keep the manageable one that you already have. If you can afford the newest phone, keep the one you've got that still works great. That gap is where stealth wealth lives. The gap between what you could spend money on and what you choose to save for your future. And that's how ninja mode wealth helps you retire sooner. Because every single time you refuse to turn money into performance, you have more of it available for your freedom, more for your bridge fund, more to lower debt, more to reduce how much your future is going to cost you. Because retirement isn't just about what you have. It's also about how much your life requires. Now, what if you do all of this and you still cannot build wealth? What if you're not buying luxury cars and you're not upgrading everything? You're not taking those big grand vacations and you're not trying to impress anybody and there's still nothing left? Well, the problem may be income. And I know a lot of people, they don't like that answer because it's easier to say, just cut back. But some people, they've already cut back. And if stealth wealth gives you nothing to work with, then the mission changes. You may need more income, lower housing costs, a side gig, a better paying position, a roommate, some temporary way maybe to create more breathing room. Because what I've described in this video today, it's not magic. It works when there's a gap between what comes in and what goes out. And if there's no gap, then first you create that gap. And then you hide that gap. And then you use that gap to buy your freedom. So Gen X, channel your inner ninja and put financial freedom in your sights. Let's Gen execute so we can Gen exhale. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.